People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
All right, this week it's just Natalie and I. We are in the middle of a 2-week run of having like 2 or 3 shows every single day. 1 or 2 of those days we have one show, but they're 3.5 hours away, so that's 7 hours on the road for a 45-minute show.
And a lot of them are summer camps, so they want them in the morning.
How you hanging in there?
I'm tired. Someone has been able to take a nap the past 3 days.
You took a nap past 2 days.
No, I've taken a nap 1 day.
All right, well.
1 day.
I'm way older than you, and I'm the star of the show, and I need my beauty rest.
I do more than you. I stay up later than you, and I get up before you. I deserve a nap.
I had a cold last week, and I'm getting over it. Now it's in my lungs, and I can't breathe. It's bad. But, I'm faking it until we get through this week.
We only have one show on Friday, and it's in the afternoon, so I am uber excited to sleep in.
We have so much stuff to talk about. So, tell everybody about our first bachelor party we worked together.
Go ahead. He thought it was a prank. They called and they wanted a magic show for the bachelor party. Because they said that the bachelor, his fiance was like, do whatever you want. I don't care. Just no strippers. That was the one rule. No strippers. So they wanted to do something fun. And they wanted to surprise him with it. So they hired a magic show. And Wes thought it was just like a crank call and they were going to be,
How many crank calls?
crude.
How many crank calls have we gotten since we've been dating? Since we've been together?
Yeah, we've had a few. And they just say something crude and then they hang up because it's over so funny. But these people were sincere. But they called the day before. They called on Thursday and they were like, can you do a show on Friday or Saturday? We already booked Saturday evening. So I was like, we can do Friday. That's all we can do. They were like, that's great. And I gave them pricing and they were like, okay, let me talk to all the people because apparently they were going to all split it. And called back and decided to book it. Signed the contract. All, everything.
I knew it was fake because
thought it was fake.
I've only had, people call, hey, can you do bachelor party? Can you make blank blank appear? And then they hang up.
Yeah.
Well, these people called, hey, can you do a magic show for us for a bachelor party? Just talk to my wife, and I gave her the phone.
But they were.
She booked the show for the next day.
They were.
The phone call came from out of state. They were staying at a bad part of town, which used to be a really bad part of town.
Now I think it's a fine part of town. He's just used to it, grew up with it being a bad part of town, but I think it has turned into a fine part of town now.
Also, they're from out of state, so what do they know about what side of town? They just picked the town on the map and said, "Oh, we're having our show there."
Airbnb.
That's what I thought. I thought they just picked something on the map and said they're having their show there.
Okay.
Go there.
Oh, okay.
You didn't take a deposit. I was scared to death.
It was for the very next day.
But we got there, and they were so excited to have us.
Yep.
Yes, the smell of weed on the front porch was knock your socks off. But I didn't smell it inside.
They were having a good time. What can you do?
And we got in there, and the guy was super nice. The
guy that hired us. Because the Bachelor was in the backyard. They were keeping us a secret. So they had him out in the backyard just with a fire and hanging out.
Something I learned when I was 18 years old, when you do magic shows and you do a show at a discount or you do a show for a charity, they're like, oh, yeah, magician, go set up over there. And they say, the more you charge, you get there and they're like, hey, we have a crew helping you unload. We don't need that. That's all built into the price. Okay, but we have 4 volunteers ready to help you, whatever you need, sir. But you do the exact same show for a charity and they're like, go set up in the cornfield. It's weird.
Yeah.
These people treated us like we charged them $8,000 for the show. I mean,
Yeah.
they were very
They're
on
very
top of us. Can we get you a
accommodating
drink?
and-
Can we do this? Is this
Very
going to work?
nice.
They were very awesome.
Yeah.
And we got completely set up, and the guy said, okay, how do we do this? How do we get the guy in? I'll let you take over, Nat.
Then he's like, would you be willing to do something?
Because they thought they were just hiring me. They didn't know Natalie was coming.
Yeah.
We did leave the kids and Willow at home.
Because it was a bachelor party. You don't know. I know it's good because it was just a small house. But anyway, I was like, I don't know. It depends on what it is. And he was like, well, the one rule is no strippers. Could you pretend to be a stripper and just, we want to freak him out and then surprise him with the magic show? And I was like, sure.
She said, okay.
Why not? I mean, I'm not going to actually strip. I'm just going to come in there and be like.
So they asked to hook into my Bluetooth speaker, and they wanted to put on some music that was real bassy. Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. And then they turned the lights out in the living room. Now, I'm hanging out in the corner. I'm just hiding against a wall.
Yeah.
And Natalie goes in the front porch.
Yeah.
And they go in the backyard to wrangle everybody. And I grabbed my cell phone and run on the front porch. And I opened the door. I said, you're a mother of three. I know the economy's bad, but this is ridiculous. And everybody in the kitchen was laughing.
But they brought the guy in with the blindfold on, sat him in a chair, and then had
In
me
front of
knock-
the front door.
Yeah, and had me knock on the door. And they're like, come in. And I just came in. I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was something like I heard that tonight there's a special guy that wants a
Special entertainment
or something like that. I don't know. And he just kind of went, because he's stuck in a rock and a hard place at this point. Because he thinks I'm a stripper. His fiance told him specifically, no strippers. And his friends got him a stripper. So how does he tell his friends this can't happen? You know what I mean? And they already had it. So anyway, I said, come on, we're set up in here. And I went to grab his hand, but his hands went. So
He
I
made
grabbed,
tight fists.
yeah, I grabbed his wrist and I led him into the living room. And I said, welcome to your magic show. And he just kind of walked over to the sofa, sat down, and started laughing. Like, it was full of relief and joy, and just, I think he was glad he didn't have to figure out what to do. Do I go with what my friends decided to do, or do I go with what my fiance asked me not to do? So, yeah, it was funny. And then they had a great time.
But I do a trick in my show where I pull Play-Doh out, I juggle Play-Doh, squish the Play-Doh real flat, and produce a dove out of the Play-Doh. And when I did that, they put their feet on the couch and they were climbing the wall trying to get away from me. I mean, they were freaking out. It was like I produced a tiger in the living room.
Yeah. It was like 8 or 10 of them.
And there was 3 women.
Yeah.
Not counting
And
Natalie.
they were all like friends from, I can't remember if they said high school or college. I don't know, but they've all been friends for a really long time. I think since they were kids. And so they were just a group of friends, and he was getting married, and they all got together, and they were from all over. One guy had come in from California. They called him Hollywood. And
he was from LA.
Yeah. And, some were from Maine now. I'm not exactly sure why Virginia was the meeting spot.
I don't know either, because I thought they were
remember.
UVA kids, and they were like, no.
No.
It was like a halfway point for something. But that doesn't even make sense.
Maybe it was a halfway point for most of them, and then the one guy came all the way across the country. I don't know. But anyway, it was sweet, and it was a fun show. They were
ready to have fun.
People. Yeah.
They just let loose and had fun. They had a great magic show.
Yeah.
The one thing I did say in the show, because our shows are family friendly. They're for adults, yes. That was one of the questions they had. Does he ever work for adults?
Yeah, adults only. Yeah.
Yeah.
Done it lots of times.
But we don't go crazy. We're not producing, adult products, things like that. Well, that's what they want us to do when they make those phone calls.
Yeah.
But one of the things I did say was, I've been married to her for 16 years. She's never pretended to be a stripper for me. And then somebody said, have you ever asked? All I had to do was ask. I didn't know that was an option. And they were all laughing, and then we got on with the show.
That's all they did. They just asked.
Anyway, this is a first for me. I have a whole list to talk to you guys about. And the reason it's just Natalie and I today is because we're in that middle of that 14-day stretch.
It's hard to schedule. We weren't sure when we would be too exhausted to actually do a podcast and when it would really... And what if you get stuck in traffic and then you're not home at the time that you said you could do the podcast? So...
Yeah. So that's why it's Natalie and I this week. And I don't know if I said at the beginning, but today is season 5, episode 1. This starts our 5th year of doing the podcast. 52 episodes times 4.
Nice.
And this is the start of season 5.
Wow. Look at us.
So, I have little monuments, like peaks in my career that I'm like, hey, look back on and say, man, that was pretty cool. I never thought I would do that. I was hoping one day I would do that. Cover of Magic magazines, Fool and Penn and Teller, 500-seat theater, 1,500-seat theater, different monuments that have hit peaks.
Mm-hmm.
I hit a new one this month. At my resort, I said that, hey, get your tickets at the door. We're selling tickets for our resort show. And I had 6 people on all of my different social media accounts saying, oh, man, we can't make it. But if you want to buy our tickets, you can go here and we'll sell them to you at a discount rate. They did it twice. The past 2 times I've been at Massanutten Resort. These scalpers are trying to sell tickets at my show.
It's not scalpers because you won't get tickets. It's just
Scams.
Yeah.
But, that's...
They're just going to take your money and run. You don't get a ticket.
The fact that they think I'm enough of a celebrity to scam tickets and to waste their time, that's something.
Yeah. Don't ever buy tickets from somebody that says that online, thinking you're going to get a cheaper ticket because you're probably just going to pay for it and then not get a ticket.
You'll never see them.
Yeah, right. Because at Massanutten, they don't pre-sell tickets. They only sell tickets at the door. So that's a flat out lie, but not everybody knows that, and so don't get caught in the scam. He deleted the comments so that hopefully nobody would actually take him up on it. But yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's
just
crazy.
Go to the actual whatever website it is for the show that we're doing or whatever. Figure out where you can legitimately buy tickets. Don't try and buy them from Sonny who says, "Oh, we bought tickets and we can't go." I mean, unless it's like your best friend and they're giving them to you because they wouldn't charge you.
So anyway, I thought that was something though. I mean, I've never had that experience before. Somebody trying to, I say scalp. It's still, isn't that under the category of scalping, even though it's just a ripoff?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was just...
So anyway, we did, I got notes here. We did a company show at one of our resorts we work, where they rented out the resort for the company party. And we've done this show 3 years in a row, probably. And we got there, and it was hot. It was so hot. Willow and the kids went out and played in front of the RV. We used our RV as the backdrop and our trailer. Wilderness.
Oh!
And
okay. Yeah.
It was 200 people.
Yeah.
Besides being hot, it was a great show. It was good. People were into it. It was great.
Everybody was underneath they have a huge pavilion. Everybody was hanging out under the pavilion. But we couldn't fit the magic show then under the pavilion with everybody. So we were out in the sun. They were in the shade in the pavilion. That does make a difference. They're willing to watch as long as they're in the shade,
10 minutes into the show, ice cream truck shows up. So we lose a lot of the kids.
Yeah.
I'm
line.
still performing like I'm performing in a theater. 100 people are there. I don't even act like the people left. I just do my job.
Yep.
45-minute show. I would say 32 minutes into the show. All right, food's ready. There's 200 people under that pavilion when I started. There was 4 people left when they said food's ready.
Everybody went to go get line for food.
The line. I'm performing this way. I'm performing at them. They're lining up with their backs to me, past my RV, out into a cornfield. They can't see the show at this point. I'm performing for 4 people as if I was performing for 200. And I'm talking real loud and picking on people and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm looking at the back of the room and trying to project to the back of the room. as if I'm oblivious. Of course I know what the heck's going on. I wish I could just grab somebody by the neck and say, you don't do that. I had 7 more minutes and you could have released the hounds. They can't wait 7 minutes?
Right.
That's bad timing on somebody's part. You can't.
Yeah, they didn't.
Whatever, right?
Plan that out right, but.
So they get their food and they go back and they watch the end of the show.
Yeah.
They come up, they take pictures. They had a great time. They're leaving their food at their table. It's getting cold. They're waiting. They're taking pictures.
Yeah.
I pack up. And I've been doing a thing lately where I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt to shows, and I'm changing in the RV right before the show. So I'm fresh clothes and travel comfy because, like I said, a couple days ago was a 7-hour day, and we just had a 45-minute show. So while I wear show clothes all day, I'll just change. So I'm like, Natalie, you go get paid. I'm going to change. And she says, Wes, come with me. Okay. So
He hasn't even talked to the lady yet. Like, I went and talked to her before the show. He hasn't even talked to her yet. I'm like, just come and say hi. Or bye, really.
And I was like, you're right. I don't even know who the contact is. Right. But she's the boss. They booked the show through her. They pay her.
Yeah, but it's nice for
Right, exactly. So I went over there, and I shook her hand and told her, thank you so much. And she said, you were amazing.
We'll see you next year.
Same weekend next year. Mark your calendars. I'll call you at the beginning of the week. Okay, see you later. Some of these shows, it's just, you just put your head down, do your job, and get out of there, and they love it. Yeah. They have a thing on a Visa machine now that when you scan the card or whatever, Natalie hands it to them to sign, and it asks them if they want to leave a tip. Mm-hmm. They left a really healthy tip as well. So I'm like, I can't.
They're really nice people. When the audience was sitting down watching, they were watching and enjoying themselves. It's just someone scheduled food.
Or the caterers were super late.
At the wrong time.
Maybe they were supposed to eat before the show started.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because last year they were set up when we got there. Yeah. This year they were still unloading the cars.
Okay.
If you remember.
Yeah. So I don't know. Either something quite scheduled out right, but it is what it is. And, next year when they book, I'll just say, hey, can we not have the food served in the middle of the show? If that's
It makes it better for us. But it's one of those things where if you tell people, it'd be better if you didn't do that. Some people take it the wrong way. And it's like, who are you? Everything's working fine. Just leave it alone.
This lady won't.
No?
No.
Well, just like we had the show the other day, and you were saying that if she didn't pay us on time, checks in the mail. And you said if she read the contract, that she has to pay a penalty fee now because the check wasn't there the day of the show.
Right.
But nobody reads her contract. Right. But Natalie's like, if I force that on this lady, I know for a fact she'll never hire us again because she'll take it that way.
Right.
It's like you're on eggshells with some of these customers.
Some people, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'll pay whatever fee, and they're totally nice, whatever. And then there's others where you're just like, that if you mention, hey, contract said it's due the day of the show. And, the thing with this one was that it could have been that she had it the day of the show. If she had told me she needed an invoice ahead of time, I could have gotten it to her. She could have put in for a check and had the check the day of the show. Instead, she waits until we come in, do our show, ask to get paid. She goes, oh, I need an invoice. Because they're paying different this year than normal. And I was like, okay. So I told her, I said, hey, next year if this happens, just let me know. I can send you an invoice beforehand. Then you don't have to send it in the mail. You can have it here.
And the contract can't stand as an invoice?
Apparently not.
Right.
A lot of people need... Yeah, I mean, the contract does say the total amount and all the details that the invoice says.
Right.
But a lot of places just need that official invoice. So it is what it is. You run into all sorts of things. And, it's hard when you own your own business. Like, if we were a multi-million-dollar business and it didn't matter, I could say, I could totally... enforce it and be like, okay, you owe us this extra money because you didn't pay us the day of. But sometimes it's not worth it. And then some people tell you ahead of time, which it says on the contract, unless discussed with Party Magic ahead of time, blah, 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 it's due on the day of the show. So I know there was one lady this past week. We had discussed it, and I knew that I didn't remember till we got there, but I did remember when we got there that we weren't getting it that day. That's just how their payment system works. For some reason, their corporate is like, okay, you could put in for the check, but we're not going to actually print the check until the event's over. I don't know why, but that's just how they do it.
Because some magicians aren't like us, and there are some bad magicians out there. They don't show up.
Oh, okay. Well,
you know what I mean? I'm being serious.
So I knew this.
Sparky the clown never showed up. Now we wrote him a check.
Yeah, that's true. But so I knew that one coming in, and that's in the contract. If you discuss it ahead of time, okay, I get it. I'm not going to tell you, And this lady, I really liked her. She was really, really sweet. This is one on Sunday. Just to let you know.
Oh.
Yeah. She was really, really nice.
See, I don't even know which ones are which. I remember Sunday, though, because Sunday, my head still hurts.
Yeah. She's a sweetheart of a lady, though. Like, she's, yeah.
I wish she would have...
I like working with her. She's really nice.
Sometimes I asked Natalie at the end of the show, what'd she say? Did they have fun? Did they like it? I wanted that lady to kiss my butt just a little bit more. No, I'm being 100% serious.
Yeah.
Because we did an outside amphitheater for a library. It was over 100 degrees outside. No shade on the stage. I'm wearing suit pants and a black t-shirt. Yeah, that's my fault, but that's what I wear to my show. And we did illusions for them. Mm-hmm. They hired us to do illusions. Mm-hmm. We did metamorphosis, which is Natalie gets locked in a trunk, and then handcuffs and a bag in a trunk, locked up with 4 padlocks. I climb on top of the box. We switch. Now I'm on top of the... No, now... Yeah, yes, we switch. Yeah. We switch it around.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's hot. You're in a box. Mm-hmm. Sword basket. She gets in a sword basket, puts swords in it, tube through the middle, stomp around, and then I'll walk around inside the basket. She's disappeared, and she comes out soaking wet. But with the animals, I mean, we're constantly spraying them, ice, fans, everything with the animals. We produce them, walk them right off stage, and, she was on top of the animals. You did a fantastic job.
Thanks.
Because we had to take 2 vehicles, I felt like it was more of, let's go ahead and use the animals, but be on top of it. And everybody behind the scenes were like, whoa. Because we were really plotting what to do with the animals. Because we were serious. This is dangerous. Mm-hmm. Let's go. They were like, wow, they're taking it serious.
Well, yeah.
Dude, yeah. So,
we love our animals.
This was an outside amphitheater, and we couldn't take the RV and trailer.
It just wouldn't fit. They had a real tight, small parking lot. And then we were able to pull around back to unload, but that is even tighter. So we just brought 2.
But in our RV and trailer, I have more material to choose from. I could have really done a completely different show. But the show we packed had animals in it. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And that's why we did the animals. We didn't need to do the animals. But because of parking and everything, it was like, all right, we have the show set for the animals. Yeah. Now, how do we make this work in the safest possible way?
Yeah.
And we were brainstorming before the show.
Yeah.
And we did some magic different than normal because I didn't want them sitting in a low chamber more than 6 seconds. It was...
Yeah, we switched a couple things around, so, yeah.
But anyway, what was I getting with that? I wanted her to kiss my butt a little bit. Like, wow, that's awesome. Because I honestly... The people that ran the amphitheater, they were like, you guys were awesome. You guys were rock stars. That was amazing. That was great. Really? It was? I am soaking wet. And I told him I felt like I was doing the show with one hand behind my back and, my shoelaces tied together. I really felt, because anytime I looked up in the audience, sweat was getting in my eyes. Yeah. I had a stack of paper towels in between tricks. I'm wiping sweat. It was over 100 degrees. People in the audience with umbrellas, with misters in their face, eating grapes. Did you hear that secret? Eating grapes and watermelon.
Yeah, and bringing lots of water. I was amazed. That place was packed. The people came out.
And it was over 100 degrees.
And it was hot. Like, I was amazed. Like, when we got there, and it was hot, and, you're soaked from just setting up. I'm like, nobody's going to show up. And then people start showing up. And they're all sitting on the sides because that's where the trees are and the shade is. But then by the time the show started, the middle was chock full. I was amazed. I told the lady that. I was like, I honestly wasn't sure people were going to come out for the show, and it was packed. That's amazing. She's like, oh, yeah, they come out. And I was talking to the people that do the amphitheater. I was like, so do you guys do the 3 seasons, spring, summer, and fall? And they're like, oh, no, we're only open the amphitheater June through August. The hottest months of the year. I'm like, really? You don't do anything in the spring or the fall when it's nicer out?
And they had a band. They had a band the night before that canceled due to heat advisory.
Yeah.
It was 15 degrees hotter when we performed.
Yeah. But it was a, you know what? It was a great audience for, not even for the heat. They were loud. Like usually people, when you're doing an outdoor show and it's hot, they just sit there. These people were like, woo! And clapping and just really into it. And I was like, not only did they come out, they're having great reactions and not just going, because it's so hot.
I even got a couple pockets of standing ovations. And I said, look, they're standing. And that's a lot of work in 100 degrees. God bless you guys. Thank you guys. But
it was a good show, yeah. But that lady is really, really, she's really sweet. And she's easy to work for.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
After the show, we're signing autographs. And I had the bunny on the table. And they were taking pictures and petting the bunny and all this. And the bunny's coat, it's just hot. So I'm putting him underneath the table in the shade, pulling him out for the next picture, putting him underneath the table. That's not working. So we switched out for a dove, and then I held the dove, put the dove under the table, misted it with water, switched it out for the other dove. So every 10 minutes, I'm in the heat the whole time, but we're switching out the animals, and Natalie's helping me. Lana's handing out grab bags. We're meeting people. One of the last people at the gig said, I saw you put the animals away, but I'd really love a picture. Yeah, they're in the green room right now in the air conditioner. Just give me a couple minutes. I'll get them back. And, I could tell she wanted to talk about something anyway. So I'm talking to her, and I'm like, I'll go get them. Just give me 2 seconds. And
she said no.
Yeah, she said, no, don't. I said, yeah, they're in the air conditioner. Just give me 2 seconds. I'll get them. I was unloading.
Did you bring them back out?
Yeah, I was unloading my pockets and doing things.
Yeah.
And she said, do you ever go to Cancun? Ching ching.
Yeah.
She
love
is.
Cancun.
She is I got it right here. She is a dolphin trainer. Sorry, look at that. You tell them. I wrote it down wrong.
She's a marine biologist, and she works and does research with dolphins.
And dolphin trainers.
And what she does is she records the underwater sounds and, their communications and things. And she says she makes music from them as well. But she does a lot of research with dolphins, and she wants to teach them magic tricks. She wants to use dolphins with magic tricks.
I thought she wanted to know what they would do about magic. No. How it affected them.
She wants to use the dolphins in magic tricks. Yeah.
That's totally different than what I got out of the conversation.
And she was like, I think it would be really cool and would help people to, understand dolphins more. I guess how smart they are, because they could actually do something with the magic tricks. Yeah.
Dude, so my brain went to, all right, if I'm performing for a dolphin, because I thought she wanted to see how they react. And I think that's how it's going to be at first.
Okay.
How do they react? I don't know. But I had questions in my head like, all right, so do they smell? What is their smell underwater like? Like what, right? So, because if I do a false transfer, but they can still smell the fish in the other hand, that's not going to work. And then if I have a shell of a fish and do multiplying fish, but if they can smell the realness here. So you have to know all these other senses. We're people, we know each other, we know what our limitations are. I don't know. Now I'm performing for an alien creature. I really am performing for an alien creature. If there's just a fish
in the area, you can smell it. You can't smell which hand it's in.
I don't know. I think a dog can.
No, I'm saying a human can't.
Oh, right. Yeah, you just smell fish.
Yeah, you just smell fish. You're like, what the heck?
But I was thinking about that while I was feeding the animals the other night. I'm like, all right, so if I have a shell, like what if I make it like a fish shell, and then I do multiplying fishes for the fish?
Yeah.
Would that be cool for the fish? Look, one fish. Fish. What the heck? Where are they coming from?
Yeah. I don't know.
But I don't know.
But yeah, she works.
Miser's
she
dream
works
with
a lot
fish
downstairs.
and freak that little dolphin out. I mean, think about it. This dude is just making fish appear. I like this guy.
Yeah. But yeah, she does a lot of research with dolphins. She does it down in Cancun. So she's down in Cancun a lot. So she was wondering if we'd be willing to go. And we're like, yeah.
Yeah, we're there every September. And she's like, well, I don't know if that'll work. But maybe I can make it work.
Yeah.
So
she has a 1-month-old baby. So she was waiting. She said she wanted to wait a little bit longer before she went back down.
Oh.
She has a 1-month-old.
Oh, gotcha.
So I told her, I said, don't worry. We're willing to come anytime that you want us to.
We love Cancun. Golly.
Yeah.
So,
any excuse to take another vacation, I'm there. I mean, that would be like, you're going to Cancun. That's a vacation, whether you're working or not.
And when we swam with the dolphins at Dolphin Aries down there, she's like, yeah, I know the trainers down there. That's a good one. But the other one is really nice, and they have a really great... We don't know. We see the tourist side. We don't know what it's like in the fish tank holding areas behind the walls, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
She was like, they're good, but the other place is way better. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. And she was telling us about a place to stay. And I told her, and she was like, they have villas. So, you stay in a villa. Because all 6 of you can fit in a villa. I said, yeah, we stayed in a villa last year, but it was this place. And she's like, oh, but that's on the hotel. And that's always where we stay, at the hotel zone. And she said, this is off, and the waves are gentler, and But it's not the other side. It's not lagoon side where there's alligators or anything, is it? Well, Lord, I hope not. They let their kid play in that water. So
right, I don't want to stay on lagoon side.
No, me neither.
But anyway, another thing. So that's what I love about my job. I mean, meeting these people and having these... What other job, if I worked at Walmart, or if I was what I wanted to do, movie makeup special effects guy, they wouldn't ask me to go to Cancun and share my talents with it. Now, turn this little kid into a monster and see what the dolphins do. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know, having the opportunity to make a cartoon. You wouldn't have that opportunity if I was I don't know.
You'd have different opportunities. It would just be different.
But the people we meet in our line of work, and we meet so many FBI agents. We had a guy that was an FBI agent, told us a bunch of stuff off the record. And I'm like, all right, can you tell me any of that on the air? We'd really love to have you on the podcast. And he's like, well, I have to check with my captain. And it was radio silence.
Yeah.
But he came to us at one of our resorts. I don't even want to say which one.
I think he was willing to do it, but I guess he just didn't get the permission and he felt bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I really think so.
Yeah, because he seemed like, and then he was like, well, I have to get permission. And it's like, okay, well, I can understand that. And then I think it was, I acted so excited and then I don't have permission. And so he just didn't answer.
But
that's the feeling I got.
But here's the thing.
But it would have been cool.
We don't know who it is, so I can tell something without telling anything. He works with, like, kids at schools. Like, he does stuff with kids.
Okay.
Like, maybe...
One of the programs.
Maybe something like that, yeah. But he's also an undercover FBI agent.
Okay.
So I don't know how publicly he can be.
Right. Well,
But when he goes into schools and does talks, he's public. I'm confused.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he's probably not going undercover where there's elementary school kids either, honey.
Right. So he's not going undercover at the elementary schools.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying none of the elementary school students are going to see him where he's going undercover at. The two communities don't mix, I think, is what happens.
Yeah.
But
or anybody could see a podcast.
Yeah, but we were like, we could, totally, you don't have to be on camera. You could just like a screen up in front of you or something.
Right.
Just your voice.
Or just put an FBI badge in front of your face or something.
Yeah. So, but I get why that couldn't work. I do. Maybe when he's retired. Maybe he'll reach out when he's retired and have some really cool stories. That would be fun.
One of the resorts we were working, this cop came up to us and he bought a fire wallet. And the reason he wanted a fire wallet, he said, I only want it if my badge will fit in it. I don't know, let's play. And I got his wallet all set up for the badge. And then he was telling us stories that he works at Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And Baltimore just had riots or something. This was back 2019 or something.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that, he was in the middle of all that and telling us inside information. It's like, whoa, that happened Well, I didn't know that. Wow. The stories, people just tell us stuff. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's neat.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that doesn't reveal him, and that doesn't reveal anything about anybody.
No.
Let's see. We did a show recently, and it was a black tie event. And they booked it as a black tie event. And I'm like, Natalie, I'm not wearing a tuxedo. I don't want to wear a tuxedo.
She didn't say you had to wear
I'm not wearing a tuxedo. Every email, every contract said black tie event. And I'm like, I'm going to get yelled at.
No, you're not.
Tell them about that one.
What do you want me to tell them?
Remember when we got there, the lady was texting us like crazy?
Yeah. She was texting us as we're trying. We had multiple shows that day. So she's texting us and we're answering her between shows. And then it came down to, okay, well, we'll call you. She's like, come around to the back of they were in a ballroom in the hotel. And she's like, come around to the back of the hotel and I'll show you where to load in. Okay, well, we'll text you when we get there and then we can meet you. Well, we texted her and waited. There's no answer. So we called her. She didn't answer. So we're walking around trying to figure out where it is. And we get in there and we're like, hey, we texted and called and didn't get an answer, but we're here. Is that the door that you want us to come in? And she's like, oh, I know I saw that, but I was getting food. We're like, okay, we thought you were,
Yeah, I was in line
going.
for buffet. I'm not answering that right now.
Yeah.
Well, you were texting us going down the road like we needed to answer you right away.
Right, yeah. But, whatever. And they had it set up like...
there was a row of tables and then
yes.
a dance floor and then horseshoe tables.
Yeah. So, and then they wanted us to set up in front of the row of tables where it was like the
prom king and queen.
Yeah, their prom king and queen or whatever it was.
And all the school
and
council.
All the adults that were running the thing were sitting there. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine, but you guys can't sit back here. And I think just the communication wasn't working and they didn't get it. And I was like, just during the show, you can't be back here. And finally, like, oh, okay, well, we'll move when we're done eating. I was like, okay, that's fine. And so we had to go out and go get our stuff and bring it back in. And I started setting up. And then we got to a point where I was like, okay, you guys have to move because we can't do anything else until you're gone. Like, this is the point where it's right before the show. And we have to do some little secret stuff. And you got to go. And so they got up and they moved. And they went around to the little horseshoe section. And then most people brought their chairs up onto the dance floor area. So they'd be right there. Made rows in front of the show. And they had a great time. They had a really good time.
She's kind of poo-pooing it a little bit. We got a little attitude. We're like, we're eating. We're not moving. We'll move when we're done. Yeah, okay. We're not trying to... We just can't do a magic show with the audience behind us.
Right.
You won't see anything. We'll be revealing more secrets than we're showing you. And really, it's 2 things in our show, but I don't want to reveal those 2 things to laymen. To magicians, I don't like
anybody,
revealing
yeah.
that.
And we tell people that, look, we have 2 things we need. 1, we need it so we set up where nobody can be behind us. And 2, we need access to an outlet. Everything else we have with us.
You also have in the contract, you can't have mirrors. When you set up in ballrooms and there's a wall of a mirror, that's like showing everything behind the scenes to the audience and people don't realize it.
I feel like that's the same as you can't have people behind us. If you have a mirror behind us, that's like, yeah.
Floor to ceiling mirrors. We did a gymnasium. Not a gymnasium. I don't know. A fitness Planet Fitness, something. They had a party room. Yeah, but you say gymnasium, sounds like a high school gymnasium. This was a workout center.
Okay.
Cheekateague, Virginia. Do you remember that? They had all the exercise balls on the wall and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
I think it might have been a library. But they had floor-to-ceiling mirrors behind us. It can't be this way. Can we just can we put our backs against that wall? No one ever does that, but yeah, I don't see why that wouldn't work. Yeah, well, we're doing it that way.
Yeah. We can't have mirrors behind us. And then if you have windows behind you and it gets dark, you got to close the blinds because those turn into mirrors when it's dark. So, I mean, we're easy to work with, They don't see behind us and we need an outlet. Like, that's easy. We don't need any of your tables. We don't need any, we bring everything. We bring our own tables, our own props, our own sound system, our own extension cords. Got it all covered. We just need an outlet. And don't stand behind us. And don't sit behind us and eat your food. Take it to all the other tables that are out.
It's funny, though, because every once in a while, you'll have somebody, like in a family show, there'll be a mom or an aunt just walk behind our table and start taking pictures of the audience, which I get is a good picture. You got everybody looking your way. But I'll just stop the show and look at her. Did you get it?
You done?
All right. Thank you.
Move along. Yeah.
You know? I try to make it fun, but I can't have you stand there. One lady, I remember specifically, she just pulled up a chair. And she's watching the show and taking pictures of the kids. I'm like, ma'am.
Yeah.
Come on. You can't do that.
There.
I'm taking pictures of the kids. Yeah, we take them a different place.
Yeah.
And the kids will be here after the show. You can take their pictures then. God.
You got some pictures.
Yeah.
Move on.
Move along, lady. Move
Take
along, lady.
From back.
Golly. What else we got?
Side.
But I thought it was funny. Natalie put her foot down. We're done now. We can't do anything else till you guys are you done eating? Yeah. Then move. Because we're not doing anything else until you start.
Take a plate with you if you're not done. Because you wanted to start on time. It's time for us to start, and we can't start till you're gone.
But this black tie event, it was amazing. It was so awesome. The people were loving it. They were going crazy.
Yeah,
the
reactions, had a really good time.
Which was a juxtaposition of how the neck rolling when we got there. And I was like, oh, no, this is going to somebody we have to work over or not work over, but get them on our side.
Yeah.
They
had a great time.
It was great.
Yeah.
What else?
Like I said, I think it was just a miscommunication. They didn't understand, and we were trying to. It just wasn't working, and I think that's why they started giving attitude, because it something wasn't meshing.
Yeah.
And then finally got it, and they were like, okay, and then they were totally fine, and they were happy afterwards, and all was good. It all turned out fine in the end. It was just a little hectic there at the beginning, right?
2 things about our boys. I got a whole list of stuff, so I'm going somewhere else now.
Okay.
Tell everybody what Julian does when we say the blessing at dinner now.
Oh. So our blessing is, pardon our sins, O Lord, make us truly thankful for these and all our blessings. This we ask in Christ's name. Amen. It's a family blessing. It's been passed down. And so that's what we say. It's what Lana knows. It's what she's taught. And she'll say the blessing a lot of times for us. Now Julian looks at us and he smiles and he goes, hi. And one time he even did this. Just once. But it was adorable. And Amen. It was so adorable.
And Lex just looks at him and watches him try it. Lex doesn't even try.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
It was very cute.
Another thing, we did that show outside at the amphitheater. Mm-hmm. And I knew I was sweaty. I mean, I asked her for a stack of paper towels, and she would give them to me, and I'd wipe off my head before the next trick, or sometimes pause during the trick and wipe it out of my eyes, and it was hurting bad. Signing autographs, taking pictures, all that stuff after the show. Talk to the dolphin lady. I go backstage to put the animals away again, and I go to change into my shorts and t-shirt so I can load. And I look in the mirror in the dressing room. Now, the dressing room at an amphitheater, they had porta potties outside. I thought it was going to be like county fair.
Yeah.
Gross.
Hot.
Dude, they had theatrical lighting in there like a real dressing room in a theater.
Makeup lights all the way around the mirrors. Several mirrors.
Really nice bathroom.
Potty. Yep.
Sink.
Yep.
A whole stand to put all your makeup and everything on the wall. A little
mini refrigerator. And it was air conditioned.
So anyway, my clothes are hanging on a rack because I was covered in sweat just setting up the show.
Yeah, mine were too.
So I go in there, I look in the mirror, and from my pockets down to my ankles, my clothes are a different color. I have gray suit pants that I've been wearing.
You can't say that, because if it was the whole pants were a different color, Lex would have said what he said.
No. The whole pants were a different color. No,
I'm saying...
The part that was wet, it's a black instead of gray. That's what I'm saying.
But you're saying from your pants to your ankles, they were a different color. No.
Not along the front. Not along the front.
No.
From my pockets to my ankles and the back.
Yeah.
Not along the front.
It was your butt mostly.
Yeah, I turned sideways.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Your legs were fine. It was your butt.
But as I'm peeling off my suit pants in the green room, Natalie's on the stage talking to the Dolphin Lady. I'm peeling them off.
Yeah.
Lex looks at me and goes, I said, what? Daddy pee-peed. Daddy pee-peed. And Lana's got it on video, and he was belly laughing.
He thought it was hilarious. Daddy peed his pants. Oh my goodness. I can't believe
I
Daddy
didn't,
peed
son.
his
I
pants.
didn't. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You pee-peed. It was funny.
Yep.
Anyway, and it was pretty brutal. It was brutal heat.
It was. But Willow and the boys got to hang out in the dressing room in the air conditioner the whole time.
Which, again, was a juxtaposition of the day before. The day before, we did a vacation Bible school in Southwest Virginia, which was 3.5 hours southwest of Virginia. How about that? And they played in the playground, and it was hot, but they played the whole time.
But they had shady areas in that playground too, so that helps.
Excuse me.
When you can be in the shade.
And we left the RV on the whole time, so we didn't have to try to cool it down.
Right.
And then it was a 5-hour drive to our resort that night. And at the resort, they played in the playground the entire time.
It was cooler. It had cooled down, so I asked her, I said, you want to play out in the playground, like, at least while we set up? And then I called her right before the show started. I said, if you guys are coming in, you come in now, because the show is going to start. And she was like, it's not that bad out here. I mean, it's not cool, but it's not that bad. We can stay out here. I was like, it kind of surprised me. I was like, okay.
From the air conditioner to the heat, it was a big adjustment. So I was surprised.
But they came in to take their final bow, and it looked like they got dunked in water. Their hair was all wet, and they were soaked. And it wasn't that. By that point in the evening, it had cooled down. But it was so humid outside that, I mean, when we rolled our equipment out, it just immediately got wet. Because it was just...
From the air conditioner to go outside, too. Yeah.
It's just so humid. And so, yeah, I was just like, oh my goodness. So, but yeah, they played outside all day on that day. And then the next day, which was hotter than that day, too.
Yeah.
They got to stay in the air conditioning, which I think is
Yeah, we were
wonderful.
dying. And they were in the air conditioner. Yeah.
It was good. It
was perfect. Yeah. It was perfect. And we didn't have the RV, so having that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are we doing on time? I can't see it. What does it say up there?
47.
All right. So I have something else here. So that's everything I had. Do you have anything else to add to this week's episode?
I don't know. We took some of the tips from the potty training lady.
Oh, okay.
Put them into effect.
How's it going? We have listeners as well, Natalie.
I know. I'm just... We've moved everything to the bathroom, like she said. We have little charts, and they put stickers every night on the chart on the things that they've done. They get a dino sticker when they have success and a piece of candy, because that's how we're bribing them to use the bathroom. It's very inconsistent. Extremely inconsistent.
But they peed in the RV the other day.
Today. Yes. So that's good. They haven't done that very often. So when they do, I make a big deal out of it, because it's a different place. It's not home, and it's not bathroom, that they're used to. So, but yeah, we'll get there eventually. Apparently we're taking the slow route. And they're perfectly willing. They love washing their hands. So.
That's good.
Yeah. And they have found the joy in helping you flush the toilet. They do like that.
Our toilet downstairs is hard to flush. I don't realize it.
Oh, you have to help them. They put their fingers on there, and then you have to push it.
Yeah.
But they do try. But it's really cute, because whoever gets up and is done first, they get to flush first. And if both of them go, then, you flushed, okay. If Julian went first, all right, it's Lex's turn. Okay. And he backs up and goes, Lex, go, Lex. It's really cute. And vice versa, it's very cute. They're very willing to let the other take his turn flushing the toilet.
And I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but Looney Tunes had that Daffy Duck as a baby.
Yeah.
Water go down the hole.
Yeah.
Toot go down the hole. And he's flushing all of his toys and all of his stuff. And now I've said that, and I've even showed him the cartoon, and Julian will go, want to go down the hole.
He did that this morning.
It's so
want
funny.
to go down the hole.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
But yeah. So, if you're at this like we are and it's just going slow, don't worry. We're right there with you. I have resigned myself that one of our suitcases this year is going to be checked baggage again of just diapers and swimmy diapers and pull-ups. So, yeah.
But, hey, dolphins won't bite their wieners when we go swimming with dolphins. They'll be protected.
The dolphins weren't going to go bite their wieners anyway.
Fishing lures.
Oh my goodness.
What else? So, there was somewhere else I was going to go with that, but I can't remember now at this point.
With the potty training?
Yeah, I made them stickers. We printed out stickers with dinosaurs for them. Star stickers.
Apparently we need more T-Rex stickers.
Yeah, but I don't have, I have a sheet of stickers to print out only T-Rexes.
You gotta figure it out. Because that's all they want and there's no T-Rexes left.
Yeah. Anyway, we've been listening to the stuff on the road because, boy, 7 hours of driving for a 145-minute show was just one day this week. We've been on the road every day, and most shows are at least 2.5 hours away, correct?
Yes.
So, we kept hearing people talk about Case for Christ.
Mm-hmm. Which, what I have heard is good, but it's just we're listening to it, and it's just somebody reading it, and when it's just that cadence, and I'm this tired, I'm out. I'm falling asleep.
She'll make it 20 minutes, and then I'm looking over in her eyes. Am I the only one listening? So I put it on a podcast.
Yeah, and it's sorry.
So we've been trying. I think we're on chapter 4.
Yeah, but I need to re-listen to the whole thing.
Okay, well,
maybe not the introduction. I did hear all that.
We're in chapter 4 now, and that's an 11-hour YouTube podcast.
Yeah.
But our Sunday school teacher talking about it. I've heard other people on other podcasts talk about it, how great it is, and
it's
archaeology things line up to the Bible, and they're proving all this stuff out, and
right.
It's neat. It's neat.
What I've heard is good, but what I'm saying is I need to go back and listen again because when you're this tired,
right,
I can't stay up.
I was listening to an episode of Joe Rogan's podcast, and he had a guy talk about NDE, near-death experiences. What'd you think of that?
It was good. I liked it. It was good.
So with you almost dying 2 times a couple years ago, the reason I shaved my head, the reason I got all stressed out, the reason...
I didn't have any of that.
Did you hallucinate at all, or all those heavy meds? Do you remember anything?
I had really bad dreams, but...
Do you remember what the bad dreams was? Was that demons taking you to hell?
No. My really bad dream, I had to call Willow when I woke up because it was so real. And it was... I don't remember all of it, but I remember it was like Julian was like burning and his skin was just coming off and he was screaming. And it was very, very real. It scared me to death. I did not like it at all. I couldn't go to sleep for a long time afterwards. And I called Willis. Is everybody okay? Because I had fallen asleep early that night. And it was like 9. So I knew they were up. And I was like, are you guys okay? Is everybody okay? All the kids are good. And she's like, yeah, we're fine. We're sitting here. We're just enjoying a movie together. I said, okay. Good. And I was crying. Like,
you were under crazy medication, though. There were times you didn't know I was there. We watched the whole Piff the Magic Dragon, his made-for-TV special, yeah. And
I don't remember it.
We watched him in Vegas, and I said, Natalie, you remember this from this special? And she's like, I was on drugs.
Special?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Man, I sat up in the bed. I held her. We watched it. We laughed, and we watched it, and I was helping her eat, and I remember holding you in there. We watched it, and yeah, at the end, you said, I'm getting tired. And I watched the last 5 minutes by myself. But you watched the rest of it with me.
I didn't remember most of it. Like, some of it, when we watched it again, I was like, oh, yeah. I remember that part. But most of it, I was, nope. I don't remember it.
I've got my breathing thing back. I can't get a deep breath. I can't yawn. I'm coughing. Sorry, guys. Sorry. But this guy was talking about he had a near-death experience, and his dad came to visit him, and he told the doctor, "I think you're losing me. I think I'm dying. You gotta hurry, doc. Dad's been dead for 10 years. This ain't good." But you were under heavy medication. I mean, you had the morphine drips. What was that thing? It was Dilaudid. It's even stronger than morphine.
Mm-hmm.
And her button said, she got it 60 times that hour, but she was denied 17 times because you're only allowed to get it each minute. Whatever it was. Whatever the math was.
Yeah.
But it even tells you how many times you were denied that you were in pain and you were trying to click it.
Right. But even before I got that after I passed out.
Yeah.
From the pain of the pancreatitis. But I didn't, I didn't even know I passed out. I didn't have that experience, I guess. Either that or I just don't remember it. But, yeah. I just passed out. I just remember asking you if I was going to die. And then the next thing I know, I have a lady shining a light in my eyes. I'm going, why is she doing that? I don't think I said that out loud, but I was wondering it. Like, why are you shining a light in my eyes? Apparently, I passed out.
Right, but think about that. Think about the sentence you just said. Am I gonna die? Why are you shining a light in my eye? You forget the whole point of me slapping you, me ringing the bell. You don't remember any of that?
Me. I have no idea. No.
You don't remember me climbing on top of you, shaking the shit out of you?
Nope. I was out, honey. I was out.
I know you were. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You were out, honey. You were out. So, when my dad died, I remember at the funeral, I'm a hugger anyway. Italian, maybe? I don't know. But I love hugging people. I don't know what it is about it. I'd rather hug you than handshake you. And I was hugging everybody, and I was looking for a hug that matched my dad's. I remember specifically. And the only person that was close was my sister's husband, my brother-in-law. Mm-hmm. And nothing to do with my dad, nothing. It came in the weirdest place, but that was, can I hug you again? I'm 25 years old. I know it's weird, but can I just hug you again? It's not his build even. It was just something about his hug. I don't know. It reminded me of Dad. And I remember that during the funeral, that I was just hugging everybody, and in my head I was looking for a hug similar to Dad's. I just wanted Dad's hug. And about a week after he died, in my dreams, I was visited by my dad, and he said goodbye to me and hugged me.
Aww.
Now, was that a dream? Was that a self-fulfilling dream? Was I visited by a spirit? Was my dad telling me goodbye? I don't know, but daggone it felt like a hug from my dad. Right?
That's sweet.
You never heard that before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's sweet.
So, thinking about all these near-death experiences, we're on the road for 5 hours. I'm listening to the podcast. I'm thinking about this. I Googled it. I don't see dead people while I'm sleeping, but I do see shadow figures a lot.
In your dreams?
I don't know. I think I'm awake.
Is that why you yell and throw pillows?
I saw one today in the RV. But here's the weird thing. So
Did you yell and throw a pillow?
Nope. And I looked, I cleared my eyes, it was gone, and I put the pillow on my head and went back to sleep. But in the RV, when you're looking, all right, so the bathroom's to your right when you're laying in bed.
Uh-huh.
To our feet and to the right is the bunk beds, and they have those LED lights.
Uh-huh.
It was lit from behind.
That's weird.
So I would see an outline of a person. I wouldn't see its face.
Right. But if you're there,
it was a sideways
Yeah.
profile of a shadow figure person, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Blink of an eye.
Okay.
How many times have you seen me wake up in the middle of the night, scream, and throw a pillow across the room?
Yes. That is why when I asked Lana to go wake you up from a nap to tell you dinner's ready, she comes in and goes, Dad? Because she's gotten pillows thrown at her so many times.
I've thrown pillows at her?
Yes. That's why she goes, Dad.
Dude, in my head, though, I whip them across the room like a ninja star. Do I throw them really good?
No, not all the time. Sometimes it just goes, meow. But
in my head, I am whipping them.
Sometimes it does go across the room. It just depends on the time. But the yell is always,
My mom, I wrote this down. My mom used to have night terrors, is what Dad called them. And she would literally sit up in the bed like somebody out of the Exorcist movie, and she'd just say, Johnny! Which is my dad's name, but it would wake up the entire house. Top of her lungs, and she would say, Johnny.
Wow. She's having a nightmare calling her husband for help.
Is it nightmare? Night terror? Was she seeing shadow figures? She never remember anything.
I don't remember a lot of my dreams either.
Right? So
But I've woken you up going, because I can't scream in my sleep.
yeah, and I'm like, Natalie, you're freaking me out. Wake up and go back to bed.
I can't scream. Even in my dream, I can't scream. I will be trying to scream. I'll be going, and apparently that is what's coming out of me for real, not just in my dream. And then if I'm lucky, he'll wake up and wake me up. If I'm not so lucky, I have to wait until I wake myself up. Most of the time is what happens.
So I Googled up these shadow figures things and me throwing pillows. No.
Okay.
It just says I'm having I thought it was hypnagogic.
Can I see?
Hypnagogic is there.
Hypnagogic
What is that?
hallucinations. Hypnopompic.
Take over. I Googled it. I did my job.
Hypnopompic. I can't do it now. Hypnopompic hallucinations, in particular, are hallucinations that occur as you are waking up in the morning and in a state that falls somewhere between dreaming and being fully awake. They are relatively common, occurring in over 12% of people.
So there you go.
Interesting. Huh.
The hypnagogic is saying that I'm like having sleep paralysis, and I don't have that.
No, it says if you think you're... Why am I seeing figures in it? If you think you're seeing or smelling, hearing, tasting, or feeling things when you're asleep, you may not be dreaming. It's possible that you're experiencing hypnagogic hallucinations. It's more likely if you're waking up in extreme fear that your hallucination was real.
No.
This is, sleep paralysis.
I don't have sleep paralysis because I'm throwing that pillow across the room. I'm trying to take out whatever's there. Right?
Yeah.
All right, we're on the air. You got to keep talking.
Yeah, so I don't know. You're Googling stuff too, so I don't know what's...
But I saw one tonight, today. We got home at 3 p.m., and because I'm fighting out whatever's in my lungs or whatever, and just I'm tired because I'm getting over this cold. And allergies, I can't breathe.
And we're also getting up
at 5 a.m.
really early, and then I'm not going to bed till after midnight.
Right.
You get to go to bed a little bit earlier, but I'm putting boys to bed. I'm going to bed after midnight, getting up.
And we get to do it again tomorrow.
You lay around in bed for a while, and I actually have to get up because I got to get the whole house up and dressed and ready.
Yeah, well, you have to do your hair. I don't.
Sit around and play on your phone for most of the time.
But,
it's not fair. And yet, you get to take a nap. When's my nap?
Right after the pot. While I'm editing this.
Bull.
I
have to get the whole house ready for bed after this.
Are we ending on a bad note? Is this how we're ending this?
No, I'm just telling you that tomorrow it's my turn. I get a nap.
Okay.
You have to stay up.
Okay.
Okay.
Guys.
You heard it here.
We still have another 6 days of this run. I'm going to try to schedule somebody for next week at the last minute. And they have 6 days to say yes or no if they could be on.
But I think we have Monday and Tuesday off anyway, so.
But let me tell you this, guys. If you sign up for our Patreon, we're doing a thing now that we're filming with Riverside, is our new podcast hosting, filming platform. Instead of using, what is the other one called? Zoom. They allow me to invite people to watch the podcast live. So as we're recording it, it looks like you're on the Zoom window, but we can't see you. You're just in the background. You see exactly what we see as we're filming it.
Yeah, you can't chip in, you can't talk in, but you can just watch.
Which is cool because you're getting everything. When we first tune in and call the person and talk to them and say, hey, do you have any questions for us? All right, is there anything you definitely want to hit? You hear all that stuff. Hey, yeah, man, but there's one thing. I want to ask you this. When you full Penn and Teller, da-da-da-da-da, or whatever they ask us before, you get all of that.
Yeah.
Plus, with Patreon, you get the Patreon bonus, which we record right away. And in between, as they say, yeah, we'll do that, but let me take a pee break. And then Natalie and I just sit here and talk about how much fun we're having doing the podcast. You get to see all of those behind the scenes, which wasn't able to do beforehand.
Right.
I think that's really neat.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Wes_Isley. Magic lessons, magic tutorials are on there. We're going to upload more after our busy season. I have like a list of like 15, 20 more I'm going to add. Our television shows are on there. Podcast extras are on there. You can join our podcast lives. We tell you when we're recording with these people, and you can tune in. Pretty awesome. Check it out. Anything else you need to add?
Nope.
All right, guys. I think that's everything. Only thing left to say is see you next week.
Check us out online at wesisley.com and patreon.com/Wes_Isley for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled Wesiseli.